cannot attend the class. Okay, so I record my screen, and so I just collect some information for two large earthquakes happened on September. As you know that the one of the earthquake is called as the Guanshan earthquake, another is the Chishan. So two earthquakes just happened on the September 17 and the September 18. And you can see the magnitude of earthquake are quite different, but the depths of the earthquake depths are quite similar. Okay, and following the earthquake, we can receive some information from local news. One of the famous buildings, the 7 in Yuli, and this is before the collapse photos. You can check by Google Map Street, and you see after the earthquake and the building totally collapsed, and so the government would like to investigate the reason why the building are collapsed. Okay, but this is some illegal ways. I difficult use the English to explain, so I change to Chinese. 我就是台湾，反正我故意把它录下来。台湾一般建筑物倒了以后，能够在24小时之内就把它清掉的，这个建筑物肯定有问题。花莲的县政府的理由是这个房子倒了会挡到用路人。我想想，这个一台推土机把东西推到旁边去，这条路就会通了。24小时之内，这个建筑物就消失了。所以，如果是结构组的，应该多多少少会知道这有什么陷阱在里面。Okay, and then another famous case after the earthquake, also broken by earthquake, is the Chunri Elementary School, and as you can see, the beam and some structures are directly broken. Okay, but this is also famous because this building has been reinforced in the past. But even though they have done reinforced, but still broken, so the government also interested in what happened during the earthquake. Okay, but the case is not is a difference compared to previous one, because we cannot disappear some evidence on the elementary school. So currently the government still investigate the reason why the school was broken. Okay, so this is two maps we will plot today. So the left-hand side, you can see we still have the Taiwan Islands, and there are some lines, and the line are plot here is active fault. Is the active fault in Taiwan, because when earthquake happens, sometimes we will looking for which fault was related to the earthquake. Okay, so we will plot some line indicate the fault line, and you can see some tests in here are the fault names. So totally the Central Geological Survey published around 30 active faults on Taiwan. So we just plot the active fault on the Taiwan map, and you can see some invert triangle. The invert triangle showing here are the seismic stations. So we will know actually the ground shakings at each seismic stations, and we know that the location, how big the ground shaking here. Okay, so I just plot some seismic stations around the Taiwan. and you can see one text, the Taiwan text I put here, and that means I can plot any text and rotate any angle I want, and I can adjust the size of the text. Okay, so you can see this is one of the examples shown on the left, and the right hand side is the map. We call that the 2.5 dimensional color map. So the color showing here indicate the peak ground accelerations, the peak ground accelerations. So the unit is the gale. Okay, so we see the red color indicates the larger PGA ground shaking located here, and then we will put the contour line. So the one contour line with the values is equal to the 80 here, and the inner contour in here is related to the PGA values with the 250 gale. And the black star showing here is the earthquake locations. Okay, so we just make the two plot today. And the left hand side, we just plot some line and the station distributions. And right hand side, we just plot the map with the color. And the color indicate the PGA values. Okay, so 今天我们只会有2个练习题。左边就是通常我们一个地震发生了，一定会想要知道断层的分布跟这个地震之间的关系，所以我们一定会很快的把断层画出来，然后可能右边这边会把这个地震发生的位置也画出来，那你可能会去猜测这个地震的发生可能是哪一个断层的错动所引起的。第二件事情，如果我们要去探讨这些建筑物可能跟地震之间的关系是不是地震让它倒塌的，那我们一定会想要知道，那当时候地表上的摇动程度是不是足够让这个建筑物倒塌，所以我们就会去收集所有去记录这些地表震动的仪器，那就是我们左边倒三角形画的。所以右边就是我们收集的这些倒三角形测站所收到的最大加速度，那我们能不能把它画出来？那我就可以一目了然，知道哪里是震动最大的地方。如果你把刚才的春日国小跟那一家玉里的 Seven 画在这张地图上的话，那你可以很容易去猜测，刚好可能就落在这个红色区块里面。那地震造成的那就没什么可以去折旧的。不过如果是这个建筑物本身有一些问题的话，那可能就需要去检讨。OK， 那这个地图其实大家可以看到底图还是什么？还是山脉的这个阴影。所以为什么我们会画这个？会不会有些山崩的发生，会不会刚好在山脉区？也是因为这个地震所造成的。这些都是我们在画这个图的时候的重点。Okay, so we move on the next step. So I just summarize all comments we will use today. So the first, the page showing here, this all of the comment I use the gray colors indicate that we have already know in the last week. So I'm not going to details for all of the comments showing here. So such as the GRD gradient, the PS base map, and the PS cost, and the PS scale, and the GRD images, and the PS convert. Okay, so the comment list here we have already know. So I'm not going to detail for the comment showing here. So that's another slide, just summarize all comments we will learn today. So the first one is the PSXY. And this comment is for the plot, the lines, polygons, and some symbols. Okay, as I mentioned before, the lines. So the fault is the line. Okay, and the symbol, I plot the star and the invert triangles as it is indicated the symbol, what I want to plot. And I also plot the PS test. So I can plot some text on the map, like the Taiwan. I just rotate the Taiwan characters and show on which location I want to show. And the AWK, AWK is the comment for the data processing before we plot. So I will show in later how can we use. And two comment, the first one is block mean, and the second one is service. I use the two comment to create the GRD files because I only have the ASCII file for the XYZ, but I would like to convert the XYZ data to the grid file. So I need the two comments to convert my XYZ data to GRD format data. Okay, like the comment showing here, XYZ to GRD. Because we plot the GRD images, we need the GRD file. So before we plot the GRD image, we need to convert the data to GRD file format. Okay, and finally we plot the GRD contour. We just select which contour we would like to plot. Okay, so the following class I will show example step by step, and you will know how to use that. Okay, so before we step by step follow the slides, I need to open my terminal, and right now you can also connect to our servers. So the Ubuntu. Okay, so again, list, and I'm going to the course and the 111 time frequency folders. Okay, and then I go into my folder is Vivian. Okay, so this is my folder in last week. I may run out. Okay, and before I start my class, I also CD outside, and for each class I will take the look to see which one also access the folder personally today. So you see some of the students access the folder right now. Okay, and some students, I also connect to the server at October 9, and some students connect to the server on the October 7th. But most of the students just stopped at the last class. Okay, so that's why I say maybe it's a little bit difficult for your personal practice. So, but if you go home and you are not familiar on class, so you can go home and try find out some free time to practice by yourself, and you will go. If we practice more times, we can easily follow the class on class. Okay, the material on class. Okay, so so right now I CD Vivian, and as I go outside and the LS, you can see some file we need today. The fault name English TST and the fault number .tst and the data QC TXT. Okay, and the active fault CGS 2010 WGS 184.tst. So totally we have for the 4 TST file we need today. So follow me, you should copy and the star.tst, which indicate I would like to copy all file names related to the TST file to my personal folder. So my folder name is Vivian, but for you, you need to change the folder name by yourself. Okay, so the CP dot star dot tst and Vivian. So I copy the tst file we need today to my personal folder. Okay, so I copy to my Vivian, and I can go into the Vivian site, and I can see the tst file already inside my folders. Okay, so you can see there is a folder, the tst file. Okay, and then I may check some students. The first maybe ND. Okay, ND finish, and maybe some 博瑞 not yet. 博瑞 okay. Okay, so simply you just copy the tst file and copy file into your personal folders, and you will know what we need. So cd ruby not yet. So still have some student not copy the file. Okay. That's why I say you need to practice by yourself, because the comment I'm showing here is quite easy for me. And this is just the basic idea. You just copy file to your folders. Okay, so nothing difficult in here, but if you cannot done very quickly, that indicates you are still not familiar with the Linux command. Okay, maybe I check by John. Good. Bruce. Good. Danny. EJ. Not yet. And JC. Kingu. Okay, so check already. Most of the people already copy the file. So and I open the PDF file on my right hand side. Okay, so this is a new exercise. So I would like to nano the new file names is ex02a.sh. That indicates that I would like to create the new file names related to material I would like to practice today. And the name is ex02a.sh. Today we have two maps. The A is for the map, just show the fault distribution and the stations. And the second map, I would like to practice the ES02B is related to the color map. Okay, so the first one, we only show the ES02A.sh. And we can start to editing the code, right? And the first command line, I would like to GMT set is indicate we can type some environmental parameter settings for our map. So the base map I would like to have the type is the plan. So in here you can type the fancy or like a fancy plus. So any base map type you want, you can setting in here. And maybe I would like to have the GMT set like maybe I would like to have the tick and with the length. Is 0.1 centimeter. Okay, I'm not follow the slide step by step. I just pick out some important I want. And maybe I also would like to have setting the label, some material related to the label font. The size is only the 12 points. And I also would like to set the label offset is 0.02 centimeters. Okay, so I'm not plotting now because I just set GMT set. Just would like to setting all environment parameter I want. Okay, I'm not going to start plotting right now. And then I move to the next step. This is the step I would like to plot the base map. Okay, plot base map, especially for the Taiwan Islands. Okay, so GMT base PS base map, and I need to have the range of my map. Okay, so the range is 119 degree to 123 degree along the longitude, and the latitude is 21 degree to the 26 degree. It's related to the latitude. Okay, and I need to some projections. So the minus J do the projections and use the Mercator projection scale. And through minus JM, and you can adjust the size of your map. In here, I use the size is 3.0, and I can also control the tick label. Minus B is control the tick label. So for each 1 degree, I would like to have the 1 label tick. And for each 15 minutes, I would like to have a small tick without label. Okay? And I use the plus T. What is the plus T? The plus T here is the title you want. So what kind of the title for my map? I would like to use the title is the active fault in Taiwan. I need more space. Okay, so I may broken the line to the next. Okay, so I use the pipe to broken the line, broken my command line here. Okay, I use the line to enter and broken the command line in here, showing here. And notice that here the character showing here, we use the double quote, in here. Okay. So and then I would like to plot the stamp on the map. So minus U and minus 0.5 and minus 3.2, and also show the characters is the Taiwan map here. Okay. So and on the slide here have the some control the font title size is 18 points, but in my practice I don't use the comment showing here because I already setting some environmental parameters related to the label font size here. Okay, maybe we can first try. We don't use that, and we can see what's happened on my figures. and I use the full minus K and the minus P. Okay, and I need to output my vigor. So I use another broken line. This is wrong directions. I change my broken line. It's this. Okay, so again I delete the minus B to connect, and I use the line at these directions, and broken the command line on the next command line, and I broken here again, and enter to the next. Okay, if on your screen is the space is still enough, you cannot follow me. Okay, and then I output my vigor to name is ES02 and the example A.ps file. Okay, and the sequence I would like to plot the coastal line for Taiwan Island. Okay, so I use the GMT PS cost, and I use the same minus R and the minus C follow the PS base map. Okay, and the minus D is control the resolutions of your coastal line, and I use the high resolutions, use the H, and the minus W is control the line type of the coastal line. So the first 0.5 point is control the thickness of the coastal line, and I use the color is black color, so I use the 0, 0, 0. It is the RGB code. So if you simply would like to plot the black colors, you can directly type the color name is the black. Okay, and I will use the minus TDG is control the north directions point. Okay, so I can control the location of the north point. It's a 122.5 and 24 latitude, and the plus W can control the north point size. Okay, here I size use 0.6 I is inch, and plus F is north point type, and related to how many levels you want. So here I only use the level 1. Okay, level 1, and plus the L dot dot dot, and use the north character indicate. I only show the characters directions only for the north. Okay, and then I use the pipe, the line in here, and enter to broken the command line. And the following comment I would like to show the scale on the map, and also select which location you want to put the scale. So the 122 degree longitude, and the 25.5 latitude, and the plus the center of the scale is the 23 degree, and the plus the W to control the scale bar distance. The length is 200 kilometers, and the plus L. There we don't need to show any labels. I only use the plus L, and the minus V minus O. If this is my final comments, I only use the minus V and the minus O. I don't use the minus K and minus O here, because right now the PS code is my final command line in my script. Okay, So, and the output to es02a.ps files. And after I create my PS file, so I would like to, maybe I don't need the PDF file. So the comment showing here is just for the convert the PS to PDF file. If you don't want have the PDF file, you can only type the final comment in here. So my exercise, I only use the GMT PS convert. I only want to convert my PS file into the A is control how large white space on the figures. Maybe I use the 0.2i. And the minus T is control the format of your output figures. So today, in last class, I use the PNG format. But today, I would like to use the JPG format. So that's why here I use the minus TJ. J is related to the JPG format. Okay? And the minus E, again, is the resolutions of your output figures. So the unit is DPI. So here I use the 300 DPI resolutions. So you can have minus Z and the minus V. Okay? So usually I'm not sure the script right down here is correct or not. So sometimes I just save Control X and the top of the yes and the enter go outside and just execute the code and see what happens on the map. Okay, if some trouble, you will see the reason for the troubles. Okay, but right now if you type LS and you check your es02a.sh is not the correct, right? Because we can double check minus LS minus LAH LS minus LAH, and you can check the positions where the position we have for the file. Right now the positions for the SH file only readable and writable, but we cannot execute, right? So we need to edit the permissions for the execute permissions for the file. So right now we can change the mode and the user plus the execute. So I plus the X related to the execute permissions. And the file name is, I would like to change it, is the es02a.sh. Okay? And enter, and you can ls again. And right now you can see the file change the colors. That indicates the file can execute by the users. Okay, so right now we can execute the code. It's es02a.sh, and to see what's happened. Okay, and then you can see maybe there are some troubles, so we can check by the troubles. So let's argue that we cannot find out the minus B options in my code. Okay, so don't worry. So we can reopen. If you don't have these issues, you can wait for me. I would like to check what happens in my code. Okay, so minus BA1 F minus acting fault. Okay, so the minus T, the plus T cannot edit in here. So we need additional minus T. So wait for me, I use the broken line. So I still have the minus B here, the minus B A1 F 15 minutes, but I need additional minus B to control the labels. We only have labels for the southern part and the western part. So that's why I use the south and the west. Okay, as indicated, I have the only the map friends only have the southern and the west. I don't have the friend on the east and the north. Okay, so maybe this is the issues for my code. So notice that here we have the 2 minus B. The first one in here and then another one in here. Okay, another one in here. The minus B SW plus T. Okay, and I'm go back to the code and save the code, save the change, and go outside and execute the code again. Okay, and after I correct my code and I added additional minus B again, and you can see my screen. There is no errors informations. And if I check here, there is no error informations. So I would like to download the figures to check it's work well or not. So I'm going to the home, and the user is the Colab, and the course folder, and the 111 time frequencies. And I'm going to my folder Vivian here, and check the EX02, check the ES02A.jpg file, and I open it. So if your code executes successfully, you will open the map and you will see the same result as I'm showing here. Okay, so as you remember, I added the minus T to edit the characters, which we call that the active faults in Taiwan. Okay, so that I call that the title of my map. And as you remember, I used the minus B related to the south and the west. So you can see my screen. I only have the south, and I only have the friend on the south and the friend on the western. I don't have the friend on the right and the top. Okay, but because I use the minus SW in my code. Okay, so I can open so I can open my code again, nano es02.sh. So you can see here, I use the minus B south and the west. So I only have the friend on the south and the western. I don't have a friend on the right and the top. And I use the active faults in Taiwan as my title of my map. But as you can see, the title, the size is too large compared to my map. So if you check from the my PTL file, here I use the minus font titles equal to 18 points. Okay, here I use the optional parameter to control the font size. Okay, so we may edit the font size and to see what happened in my map. So I use the minus font title. Sorry, TITLE equal to maybe 12p. Okay, so I use 12. Oh, sorry, the wrong. I need to edit in here because I added the title in here. So the minus font TITLE is equal to 12 points. Okay, so I delete the minus fault title in here. Okay, so I just added additional options, the font and the title, and equal to 12p, the points, and we can see what's happened on the map. So we can control X and yes, and save, and execute the code. If there is no troubles, and then you can open the Vigor to check the Vigor response. Okay, so I open the Vigors and check. Okay, and you can see the title of the map, the font size becomes smaller because I changed the size into the 12 points. OK， 好，那这里就是我们没有教任何的新东西。这个练习的话，就是目前只有一个底图，然后一个台湾的海岸线，然后我们秀的 label 只秀左边跟下面有 label， 然后有指北针，然后有比例尺，哦，这里有比例尺。那这个我们之前教的都一模一样，所以没有教任何的新东西在这个 code 里面。Okay, so we go back to see the next step. So I just move to the next slide, and for each slide I will pass the result on the slide, so you can double check if your map is quite different compared to the figure shown on the slide. It may indicate there are some trouble on your script. Okay, and then I move to the next, a little bit complicated, but the next I would like to plot the test. OK, 现在我们开始要来画，很简单的画一个字，就是台湾。OK, as you can see the command line showing here, I would like to plot the Taiwan characters. Okay, so I narrow my code. And right now, I would like to plot the Taiwan. So here, in the following, I have another command line. So the -k, added another additional -k in here. Okay, so remember, because the current command line are not your final, so you need to use the -k -o. And I move to the next. This is, I would like to plot the Taiwan characters, the Taiwan text on map. Okay, so I use the each is the print, each is the comment on the Linux, and the DOS is equal to the print. So the echo 121 degree and 323.5 degree. This is the locations where you want to plot. Okay, so I would like to plot the Taiwan text on the location here. Okay, and then I would like to plot the Taiwan words. So here is the character you want to plot. And then you can use the pipe. This is the pipeline. Okay, be careful. This is the pipeline. The pipeline is the keyboards around the enter. It's one keyboard nearby the enter keyboard. Okay, so please notice that here is the pipe. It's the pipeline. It's a vertical pipeline. Okay, and then I use the GMT PS test Okay, I would like to plot the text and use the same minus R and the minus J and the minus R. Okay, and I use the pipeline. I use the line broken the comment and to the next. Okay, and then this is important. Use the minus F to control the font size, font type, and the font orientations. Okay, so I use the minus A to control the angle of the Taiwan characters. So I rotate the Taiwan character 25 degrees. So the plus A is the angle, and then you rotate the angle. If the 0 is indicate the word is horizontal. Okay, if the 90 degree is indicate the font is the vertical font. Okay, but currently I only use the 25 degree. And the plus F is the font, and you can control the font size is 10 points. And you can use the different font type. So the font type I use is higher vertical, and is a border type, and uplift. Uplift. Okay, and then I would like to use the white colors for my font. Okay, you can see I just follow the slide on my right hand side, and the minus J is control the font locations. Okay, I will introduce later. You can follow, just follow me. The B is indicate the button, and the C is the center. So that indicate I would like to put the words on the button center. So where is the button? Where is the center? I will explain later. Okay, and minus G is control the font box colors. The background color, I use the 100. The 100 indicate the color code. The 100 is a great color. It's a great color. Okay, and then minus N and the minus O and the minus V, and the output to ES02A.PS. Okay. So the most important thing is the first line, first 3 items is control the location of the words, and which character you want to show on the map. I want to show the Taiwan. And the minus F can control the angle of the font, and the font size, and the font type, and the font color, and the font locations, the button center. And the minus G is control the background colors of the font box. Okay? If you check everything is okay, and we just save the code, and yes, and outside, and execute the code. And again, you can check if there's no any troubles, and you can open the figures. So for me, I reopen my ES02A.jpg. Okay, as you can see my screen, I have the Taiwan here, right? And I have rotated the 20 degree. Okay, and the font background color is the gray colors, and my font color is the white. Okay, so if you cannot understand how performance it is, and you can go back to your code and not know the code. And right now I would like to change the rotation angle. I would like to change to 45. And the font size I would like to change to 14. And maybe I don't like the white color in here, so I use the blue color. And for my background font box, I use the white color, so use the 255. Okay, and I can save and replot the figures, and you can check from the map. Okay, so my Taiwan become larger because I changed the font size, and I also changed the font color to be the blue, so you can see the font to be the blue. Okay, so the best way to practice, you just change some parameter and execute the code, and to see what's happened on the map, and you will know how response if you adjust the parameters. Okay, so I can go back to my slide. So right now we can go back to the slides. As you can see, the first one, you can echo the locations for the character you want. And the most important thing operators is the -F. And the +A can adjust the angle you want to show. And the -F can change the size and the font name and the color you want. And the -J, very important, you just set the justifications. As you can see, what is the button center? We define this is the font box. So we have the left, center, and the right, okay? And we have the top, and the middle, and the bottom. So if we put the font on the bottom center, that indicates you will adjust the font on the bottom centers. And we have the middle center or the top centers. Okay, the middle center, like we say that the 至中. Okay, and the left center, you can see that the middle left indicates the 至左. Okay, so you can adjust the font on the box, the positions on the box. Okay, so it's a very simple ideas. You can plot any text on your figures. So I list all of the font we can use in the GMT plot. So the font, I use the type in here. So we can replace different font type, and you will see the different font on your map. Okay, again, and maybe I don't like the Taiwan. I don't like Taiwan. So what I can plot here, maybe I can say I do not like Taiwan. Okay, and then we can see what's the response on the map. Okay, nothing troubles on my screen. And then you can see okay, so after you decide the location you want to put, and then you can change any character you want to show on the map. Okay, no matter the length of the characters, you can write some sentence on the Taiwan map. OK， 那这个就是很简单的示范，怎么把你想要的字贴在图上面。那这个就是你常常可以看到，你也可以贴你自己的大头贴就上去啊，然后说谢谢日本捐助我们什么钱，哦，所以你就可以自己去设计你想要的图。OK， 那等一下我们可能现在稍微休息一下，等一下我们就会示范那如何大量的把文字贴上去。 因为我们不可能一个一个贴嘛，像我们现在打一个字我们就打一个，可是我们通常在地图上的字想要很多个，那我们等一下就会示范怎么样去批次的一次把所有的字都贴上去，那就需要下一个指令才能做这件事。好，我们休息一下，那如果你有问题，还是可以请我们过去协助一下。